Hey everyone, we are back with the weekly sales meeting. I hope all of y'all had a fantastic Thanksgiving, got to actually stop and take some time and hang out with your families for a little while or friends in your area. I know it was a weird holiday for a lot of people, so hopefully you were able to relax, even if just for a minute or two to enjoy the holidays. But it is time to get back to it. We've got to make sure that we're ready to close out the year, but honestly, even more so getting ready for 2021. Now is the time to get prepared for next year. We've talked about it a lot in the past. Matt says it all the time. Winners are made in the off season. That's now. Now is the time to get ready for purchase season next year. We know that the market's going to shift. We're seeing a lot of it start to happen already, moving away from refinances and starting to focus more on the purchase market. Are you using all of the resources you have at your fingertips to ensure that you're setting yourself up for success? There are so many things available to you these days. Really stop and evaluate your business and understand if you're taking advantage of them. The Brokerage or Better group is a great example of that. There's industry newsletters. There's all kinds of research that you can be doing, coaches that are available to you that can really evaluate your current business model and help make recommendations on how to scale moving forward. There are over 70% of realtors out there that are reevaluating their relationships right now with loan officers in the market. Over 70%. First of all, are one of those your clients or your referral partners that you should really be looking at strengthening the relationship with, creating smoother processes, providing better client service and value to them? And if not, if you've got great relationships with your realtor partners now, there's an opportunity to snag so many more, but you have to use the resources that you have available, whether it's the escalations process through AIME, if something's hit a snag at the end and you need to push something through to help save the relationship or your reputation in the market. Looking at all of the other people, industry leaders, thought leaders that are part of the AIME community, listening to what they have to say, what their guidance is suggesting. Those are all things that are available to you and they're free. So use them. Take advantage of these things that you have access to because that's how we're going to win in 2021. Definitely look at your strategy. Is your branding clearly defined? Have you really thought about how people are finding you online? If someone Googles you, what do they see? They have all these free resources. AIME has done so many webinars on how to make sure that you're searchable, that you've got a strong online reputation. Have you evaluated your tech stack? Have a call with one of the AIME team members that can really walk you through and look at what is your current tech stack? How is it working? Is it working to make your life easier? Is it actually creating more problems for you in your business process? Take a look at all of this. Use the resources that are around you. Definitely make sure that you are really evaluating down into the weeds what you've been doing this year, how 2020 has gone, because it's been crazy, and how you're going to scale that to shift back to a purchase mindset in 2021. That's where the market's going. That's where the activity is going to exist. Customer service and timeliness is everything in a purchase environment. Make sure you're using resources to set yourself up to be ready for that next year. Our lender spotlight this week, UWM just launched FHA Conquest today. I'm sure everyone has seen it by this point. Really big news. Conquest has been a massive success throughout the year. It's provided so much value to the community when so many other lenders were really backing off of the service quality that they were providing. FHA Conquest is now available, 15-year, 30-year. Rates are starting as low as 1.999. That is insane. Take a look and see if any of your current borrowers can benefit from this. And if not, who in your market could benefit from this in the future. You can lock from 8 to 22 days. On average, we're seeing about 15 days to get clear to close, sometimes even faster than that if you're submitting a more thorough loan application up front. So make sure you've got all your documents collected before you lock a Conquest rate. But FHA Conquest, huge game changer. Check it out from UWM. We talk about UWM a lot, but that's because they're always bringing value to the broker community. They are looking at everything that you're asking for and finding ways to put it into place. FHA Conquest is just the newest example of that. Our BAB Network Spotlight this week is Art of Homeownership. If you haven't looked at them yet, they were our newest partner back at Fuse. We've been working with them for the last few months. Tons of really cool stuff for mortgage professionals that are going to help home buyers throughout the entire home buying process and then immediately following that when they're actually in their home. There's a concierge service to help increase the value of a borrower's home over time, relocation technology that people can check out, a monthly real estate analysis that's going to actually forecast what their neighborhood growth looks like over time, financial insights from our other partners, HomeBot and MBS Highway, are all included in your Art of Home Ownership subscription. So take a peek. Any questions you have, you can always send to the AIME team. You can email us at babnetwork.com. Find all of our Brokers Are Better partners on aimegroup.com/brokers are better network. We have a Client for Life Facebook Live this week with a couple of our other partners, actually, that you can also find on our website. We're talking to Art of Home Ownership along with Ogvo and HomeBot, how you can create a true Client for Life experience and relationship. They're going to be talking through tactics for retaining clients long term, which is so critical to make sure that your customer database is actually continuing to feed you recurring business over time. So check that out tomorrow, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, exclusively in the Brokers Are Better Facebook group. Lots of really great stuff that we are excited to talk about. Val's going to be hosting that. She is back with another one of her BAB Network spotlights. So I will be tuning in definitely to make sure that we are prepared here at AIME to retain relationships with everybody long-term. Again, some great advice from those guys. Spark applications, if you didn't hear, have officially launched. Yesterday, December 1st, Giving Tuesday, ironically, we launched our Spark applications. They are now open. The entire AIME team is so proud of this initiative and so excited about the opportunity to really bring more people into the industry that are embedded in their local communities. We talk all the time about why brokers are better, why we think that brokers are a better option for consumers. We want to bring more people into the channel with the training and the support to ensure that they are set up for success when they do take off, either running their own business or coming through the training program. If you know any retail loan officers that are experienced that have been thinking about popping over into wholesale channel, this is hopefully the nudge that they need to come join the rest of us. Let them know about Spark. If there are people in your local communities that have maybe been furloughed or laid off over the last 6 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic, send them the training application. Let us bring more people into the industry. We want to train them on what the value opportunities are, how they can build a career, and how they can truly help serve consumers better locally. So aimespark.com, our new website, it's got all of the information you could need for our military in mortgage, minorities in mortgage, and women in mortgage verticals. It's got all the information that you need for our grant program for those looking to start their own brokerage, and also for our training program for people with a little bit less or maybe no mortgage experience at all who want to come into the industry. So go take a look. Applications are open. We'll be accepting them through the end of January and then announcing the award winners for that in March. So we're excited. More to come on Spark in the future. That is all I have from Philly for today. I'm going to get back at it. We've got a lot of work to do here at AIME before the end of the year. Rene, what do you got?
Thanks so much, guys. So I want to talk to you about one of the realities that you just end up learning when you get older in this world. The reality is that pretty much everything that you need is already right around you. When we get in an abundant world where we have access to everything, we have choices on everything, we start losing our ability to start making decisions. I use this example all the time. When I go to an airport and I forget to rent a car, I go, no problem, I'll just go down to the rental car area. And then you see 15, 20, 30 different choices, depending on what airport you're at, and it takes me forever to make a decision. I remember when I was going into Escanaba, Michigan, I flew in, forgot to rent a car, and I said, oh man, I got to rent a car. I looked and there was one choice. It was simple, easy, and pain-free. I made a decision and moved forward. Stress level was down. And so here's what I mean and why I share that story with you. In times like this, we're in a lockdown in a lot of areas. We've got the pandemic. We've got people shutting down and businesses going out of business, restaurants going out of business. We have to start getting creative. If you remember from one of the last sessions, I said creativity doesn't come from abundance. Creativity comes from constraint. And so when we're losing something, that's where we need to get innovative. And innovation, we're going to talk about this for a minute. Innovation is about using the resources that we have to do different things. From a business perspective, it's to drive incremental revenue. Innovation to drive new revenue. If you don't drive new revenue, you're just doing new stuff for no reason. But in these times, you have to start taking a look at not trying to spend more money on certain things, but what resources do you have? Are the people that you haven't currently employed being utilized to their fullest creativity, fullest capacity? Have you inspired them to start thinking and digging deeper in ways that maybe they weren't before? And so thinking about utilizing the resources that we have, man, I'm telling you, there are so many things that we have available to us in this world. We literally can have anything at our doorstep within 24 hours. Now, for those of you a little bit older, we remember what it was like to have to spend weeks, if not even realizing we ever had access to something. But our self-awareness, not only in what we have for tools and resources, but in using the talented people that we have around us. This community that you're in right now is one of the biggest and best and most valuable, richest resources that you can have for content, information, and best practices. Any one of you can come on here and say, hey, how do you do X? And is it hundreds, tens of people come on to help and offer their solutions. That's utilizing the resources around you. And what I do this all the time with my clients when they come in to say, let's go through sales process, sales training. The first thing that I always do is I go and I say, so let's go with what you have already. I want to see what you have. Because my guess is at some point you figured out the best sales process, you figured out the best scripting, but it's probably sitting on a shelf right there collecting dust. And so instead of me creating something new, let's look at what you've already done. The challenge with what we've already done is that it's not novel anymore. But any success isn't about novelty. It's about doing the fundamental things extraordinarily well. And so when you look around, you say, what have you created? What work have you done? What resources do you have around you right now that you could put out there? And how do you take advantage of the things that you have already invested in that maybe you haven't implemented or you haven't done to the fullest capacity? You're approaching the end of the year. Don't make new investments in things in terms of this area. Look at what you've invested in and have you gotten your full ROI before you invest again? Because that's just wasting money. A lot of you probably watching this have subscriptions that you're not using. You're paying monthly fees for things that you're not fully utilizing. If you have MBS Highway, get on there, learn how it works, learn the scripting. If it's one of those things like, yeah, I'm going to get to it, you're missing out. Invest in the things that help you, but then utilize that investment to your fullest potential. So I want all of you here to take an inventory of a few things right now. Take an inventory of the people that you have working for you. Take a look at what you're paying them. And ask yourself, have I really truly inspired them to reach greatness? Have I truly inspired them to work even harder? And ask them, what do they see as their job description? Don't tell them what it is. Ask them what they think it is. And then compare it to what your expectations are. If there's a mismatch, that breeds a great conversation to say, how do we align on here's what I expect, and here's how you see your job. And sometimes you'll get things from them that you didn't know they were doing. That's an opportunity for recognition. But take an inventory of what you have right now, have them write their job description, and then compare it to yours. And then if there's misalignment, it's an opportunity to align. Take an inventory on all of the subscriptions that you have right now. All of them, because you're probably paying for things that you're not even using, things that you aren't bringing to full potential. So take that inventory and ask yourself, is this adding value to me? Or is it valuable, but I'm just not implementing because that's a me problem, and then I can start adding value to it. Or if it's something that I'm not getting any value, I'm not planning on doing it, then you know what to do. You got to make a business decision at that point. But those are resources that are being wasted. If those resources were redirected to something that create more value, think about what that would do to your business and your family. Take an inventory of your family. Take an inventory. Are you giving your spouse the time and attention that you need? Are you giving your kids the time and attention that they need? Are you giving yourself the time and attention that you need? And unfortunately, that last one is probably the most neglected. We do so many things for other people and we forget to take care of ourselves. That was a big change that I made in when the pandemic hit and COVID, was to take care of me, because I knew if I couldn't be healthy, if I wasn't working out, if I wasn't eating right, I wasn't able to help anybody, my family, those around me, my kids, and I wouldn't be around for them. And it finally clicked that the most selfish thing to do was to not take care of myself, because I was taking away from my children's life and the most important times in my life, which would be the end of my years. I'd have less with my kids. And we know at those end years, we'd give anything to have just a little bit more time. So I want you to think to the reality that everything you need is within reach. You just have to look. And sometimes you just have to look down. Look at the resources, the people, the time, the money that you have available, what you've invested in already, and challenge yourself to bring it to its fullest ROI, return on investment, but also your ROE, your return on energy. There's a lot of things out there that are taking your energy and aren't giving you anything back in return. Now is the time to change that. Now is the time to start business planning for the future in this next year, because we're here in December. We got 1 month. What does your business plan look like, and how do you fully maximize the resources that you have to reach your best year yet in 2021? So as I ask you every single week, how productive were you this week? Is it a number that's going to be good and that you're proud of? Were you making the phone calls, talking to referral partners, or did you waste it? If you wasted it, you can't get it back. So let's make our next week a very productive one. We'll see you again. Back to you, Philly.
Thanks, Rene. Thanks for everything you do, your insight on each topic we bring up each week. Can't thank you enough for what you do. You always bring a different way in of looking at things and your viewpoint. So thank you for all that. And Katie, thank you for your update. First off, before we get started here, I know we just had a great holiday. I actually had a great holiday, got away for a little bit, was able to spend time with my family, my friends, but also trying to stay safe during this coronavirus pandemic issue that we have going on. So first off, I know Thanksgiving is done, but just wanted to wish everyone a belated Thanksgiving. And I know we're going into the holiday season. It's an important time for everyone to always be around their family. So happy holidays as well. So just want to give myself a quick introduction. My name is Marc Summers. I'm the president of AIME, and welcome to my portion of the weekly sales meeting. And my portion always deals with a little bit more of dealing with the broker side of things, since I am a current broker as we speak, still originating loans. So, and obviously the topic this week we want to discuss is using your resources. I think it's really important that we always take steps back a little bit and look at our resources and what we can do with them to make us better. Listen, the whole goal about this, and my son has been actually using this saying 1% better every day, 1% better every day. And I think that's important, that we always got to look and see how we can get better. And a lot of times it's right in front of our face with the resources that we have. So let's hop into it of things I want you to take a look at. I think that will help you. First off, it's our lending partners. Now, when I start talking about lending partners, I want to make sure we're really clear on something, which is this: is back in the day, we used to say, and I tell my guys this too, we used to say, what lender are you going to send that loan to? I don't say that anymore. I say, what lending partner am I going to go to? And the reason why I say partner is a lot of our lending partners have changed the game. Back in the day, just like I said, it was what lender, who had the best rate, and that was it. You know what I mean? But now, who's going to help your business grow? And that's why I think our lending partners are extremely important to us. And with that, our lending partners are changing the game. They're giving us more resources than we've ever had. I swear, every time I speak to my AE, and that's one of the things I want you to do, is go speak to all the AEs that you have that are a part of our network and ask them, hey, am I missing something here? Do you guys do X? Do you guys do Y? Do you do Z? And I'm pretty sure you'll be pleasantly surprised that a lot of our lending partners are giving us more tools than we've ever had or even knew about. We get so blindsided and we get tunnel vision of certain things that we're doing because they're great, don't get me wrong, but there's also these little nuggets out there that can continue to help you get you better. So if you have, with all of our lending partners, call your AE, review why you signed up with them, and listen, at the end of the day, if you are missing a need or something that you do need, email us at partnerships@aimegroup.com. We'll try to get you in touch with somebody who may have that specific, that can satisfy that specific need for you. Next, obviously our vending partners. We all have different vendors, and especially part of the Brokers Are Better network. I want you to review every single one of them, because what are everyone trying to do? They're trying to get better here. So with the Brokers Are Better network and our current vendors, we're trying to get you better. So go to aimegroup.com, look at our Brokers Are Better network, and look at our vending partners there, and you will see that there may be a need there for you or something that you're missing out on. So visit it. I'm not promoting any single one of them because I think they're all great for us, but at the end of the day, your vendors are some of your biggest resources that you have. Take a look, whether you're missing social reviews, whether you need a new website, whether you need a little coaching, whatever the case may be. Use the vendors that we have available to you that are going to make you better, and that's another resource that you have. Next, which is your current tools and resources, and it kind of goes into our lending partners a little bit, but we all have LOSs, POSs, whatever the case may be. Dive back into it. Contact one of the account executives on that vending partner and ask them if you're missing something. I have said this before. I'm signed up with quite a few vendors, and I just learned something yesterday that I didn't even know existed with one of our vending partners, and it was HomeBot, and it was great just for the mere fact of, wow, this is another tool that I have, another resource that I have that I can use. As I said before, sometimes we get so blindsided, tunnel vision of what we have, and it's great, don't get me wrong, but as I said, what is everyone trying to do? They're trying to get better, they're trying to add, you're trying to get better, you're trying to add. So make sure you always go back and review them, because sometimes these vendors and even our lenders slip things in that we didn't even know about that are a benefit to us. So go back, look at your current resources, and I'm telling you, they keep continuing to add to it to try to help you become a better originator, broker, owner, processor, whatever you may be. Last but not least, I want you to lean on the AIME community, your peers, your broker community. Now, it's funny, as I was preparing what I was going to say today, I went on to some of our social media, and it leads right into what I wanted to talk about today, which is lean on them, because I saw more questions in the past 4 or 5 days of how are you doing your POS, your LOS, how are you doing your marketing, how are you following up with I saw so many questions on there where we're leaning on each other, and that's a resource. And I'm telling you, that might be one of your most valuable resources that you have to lean on is your community, because as we get bigger numbers and as we continue to help each other, listen, we're all going to grow together. And that's the most beautiful thing. So one of your biggest resources is your community. Use them. And trust me, we're all here to help each other. And that's the most beautiful thing I think about AIME that it's done, is we're here to help each other. So continue to use your community, lean on them. It's probably arguably one of the greatest resources that you have. So just to kind of repeat, use your resources, go back to your lending partners, go back to your vendors, or check out new vendors possibly, check out your current tools and resources, which is your current vendors, lenders, and then also lean on your community. I'm telling you, those are great things that we all have together that are going to make us better. So let's get into a little bit of a legislative update here. As of this moment, Joe Biden is moving forward in his presidency, and what he has done recently is he's naming his economic team, which is led by Janet Yellen, which we've all heard of her before if you've been in this business a little bit. As well as there's a $908 billion plan on the table on Capitol Hill. Hopefully this will end the stalemate, but both sides of Congress they're fighting with each other. I think it's going to be a stalemate, but just want to let you know that they're trying to put it out there. And, us at the AIME team is going to keep you updated as we know more and how it's going to affect us. So we're going to monitor the situation as best as we can. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us on this weekly sales meeting. I know we're going into the holidays. We're coming into a new year. Stay healthy, stay happy. Thank you for joining us on the weekly sales meeting. My name is Marc Summers, the president of AIME, and we will see you next week.